What's up, guys? We are live, coming in today, 3/31, the year of 2022. We got episode number 14 with the Digital Climax Kings. Today, I'm joined by Digital Prophets. I'm the Dead On Leprechaun, and we got a introductory new guest powered by Beans, who's actually still working right now, which I can't say that I've done really any useful work today. So, cheers, brother. Pulling the weight for the rest of us. So I don't know if Jeremy's got anything he wants to
I'd
say.
just
Hi.
like to add to that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. What's up, everybody? Antonio is, if y'all don't know what a roughneck is, I'm learning now. I'm a week into it, and these guys are a different breed. They're made of steel. They're no joke. Like, the stuff that they have to put up so we can live the lifestyles that we live it doesn't get enough credit.
Cheers.
Salud. That's all I gotta say about that.
You want to do a quick intro for yourself? You don't have to use your name or anything. Just tell us what you do and what you think, and say hello.
All right. Well, part of Beans here, first time on this show. Hopefully, I can give some information, anything that will definitely help anybody. Of course, also learn from you guys. There's so much to learn, and all I can say is just be a sponge in life. Absorb as much information you can. Not, every day is always going to be a new lesson learned. So it just comes down to just be a sponge. Absorb as much as you can.
I concur. Do you have anything to add, Jeremy, or should we jump into some stories? I don't know what's going on. Jeremy can't hear him right now, so I'm going to just talk about the first story.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Oh, now he's back.
Can you hear me?
There he is.
Okay, I turned the mute button off when Antonio was on because I live by a busy road. But Antonio, can you tell us real quick about like your brief experience as like being in the field and the trades, then cryptocurrency? Because we met years ago, back in 2017, we were talking on Facebook, and he's one of the rare people that understood it at that time. Can you give us a little glimpse of like how you became attuned to all of this?
Around that era, around 2016, 2015, 2016, and 2017, I was working with my brother-in-law, which I have mad love for this guy, and he's a genius, man, when it comes down to technology and anything on the internet. He's just, I learned a lot from him at that point. He was teaching me a lot on how to build websites. We worked together for a couple of years, and I started to kind of dive deep into learning code. By no means I'm no great coder at all. I just, just the basic of pretty much, you can call the skeleton of a site, the whole HTML and just the basic information, just pretty much the bones. And I was building websites, and I was learning how to do code and how to build websites from scratch, and learn about how to make a website look real nice, modern, instead of just like the websites that used to be like in the 90s, very 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 plain and boring. So I was trying to learn how to flare a website so it's very catchy, especially with Google changing everything that it has to be mobile friendly website. Nowadays it's more common to see sites that it's more mobile friendly, that you can go look at a site on a laptop or desktop and then go on your mobile phone, and you can see everything because everything gets transitioned. And if websites at that point, if a website was not able to be compatible to a mobile, then your ranking will suffer, and they will just pretty much throw you in the back and move everybody up that actually people can use. Because Google, it's a platform that is there to be number one search site, and they want to be compatible and be able to see it in any sites, any platform to be able to search. And they start implementing that, and I started to learn how to.
Antonio, can I stop you real quick?
Yes.
Okay, to just kind of say what you're saying. When I was in Albuquerque in like I think it was like 2008, I was doing pest control, and
Okay.
over time, every time I did a good job and I saw somebody on the computer, I said, "Can you give me a good rank or like rating on Google?" And before you knew it, bro, if you typed in Albuquerque pest control, we would be number 3, but we would have all the best reviews, and Terminex, our number 1 competitor, would be number 1, but they would have all terrible reviews. And you know how many like clients we got from that? Like over the years, I did it for 3 years. It was amazing. So what you're saying, like that was the reality in 2008. Google kind of made your business.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all I
Yeah.
got to say. Sorry.
No worries. You're fine. And it's funny you brought that up because that was another deal that I was learning, is how to help other businesses, local businesses here in my town, how to rank in Google. Somebody, searches for, say, personal trainer. I was working with the personal trainer, a good friend of mine, and I was helping him, move up the ranks. And, I was diving deep into learning, all the different things that you can put, the different codes. And then you start getting into black hat, white hat, all these different entities,
Black hat, baby. I'm no longer, I'm gray hat. I repented.
So there's so much information to learn from this. I mean, and I would, my son was only a few months old, and my wife would go to sleep early with him, and I will stay up all night, drink a ton of caffeine. And it's just, I wake up the next morning, and I wouldn't even be in bed. I'll be actually passed out in my chair. And of course, my wife shows up. She's like, "Hey, you woke up, you fell asleep again in the chair. Get up." Get up, ready for work. So, long story short is, I was looking into technology, everything updated, about internet, website, coding, and it kind of slowly started to transition into learning about all new technology. And of course, one has to know about the currency in the U.S. that, after the 1960s, we got removed from the gold standard, and it's been going downhill from there. And I just started diving into that, like, okay, well, what, eventually we're going to hit rock bottom. There's got to be something else that is going to replace it. And so, with the Feds constantly printing more money, and it was just this big world that I was trying to make sense of it. And I kind of stumbled upon cryptocurrency, Bitcoin. And, I was getting pretty much as much, I was taking a big bite out of the cake, which is this new technology that was coming out, and I was trying to digest as much as I could. I mean, there's so much to learn, even though right now, there's constantly changes all the time, and if you don't stay on top of that, you're just gonna stay behind. And that's pretty much kind of, I got into it, and I went into Facebook, and you know how Facebook is always constantly monitoring your likes, your dislikes, what you're searching, who are your friends, what they like, what they dislike, and so forth. And then that's how I came up onto your page, talking about crypto, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna hit this guy up, see what he knows, because I was just barely getting into it. I started following you. I was looking at your posts, and I was like, man, this guy's posting up good information. And I will click on the and I will start diving deep and learning and reading about the links that you were posting, and I was just like, oh man, this guy, he knows his stuff. And so I just started following other people, diving into what they were sharing, and it's just that's pretty much how I got myself into that. But I think if I originally wasn't, building sites and learning about the technology as far as websites and helping business owners rank higher in Google and that kind of stuff, I don't think I would know anything about crypto, to be honest with you, because unless you're involved in the technology era, you're just gonna be pretty much like, you know, other people that I work with at the shop. They just either they don't know, they don't care, or they think it's just fraud. But you know, it comes down to what you don't know. Either one, you're gonna be scared of it, or two, you're just not gonna care for it. You don't know enough to care about. Or you just kind of one of those people that just hate changes and love what they're at, and that's okay. But you know, the way I look at it is, if you don't change, if you don't keep up with times is going to change. You're going to get left behind, and what happens is one day you're going to snap out of it, and everybody's going to be gone, and you're going to be wondering what happened. So just open your eyes, read as much as you can, absorb, take everything. Doesn't, you know, good and bad, you know, before you decide what you're gonna think. Oh, that's junk. Oh, that's all lies. You know, read it, read about it, do your homework, and know what's going on, and read about what's going on. You know, especially with money, you should know everything about money. I'm not saying that I
Antonio,
know everything, but there's so much to learn about it. Yes.
speaking of money, can you give us a little breakdown on the Looks Rare token? Because I have a little, like, we have a secret weapon behind us that we'll have on the show soon.
Okay.
That's all I gotta say.
Like, explain what somebody that has never heard of it or doesn't know anything about it.
Well, Lep, I've told you about compounding crypto, right?
A
Correct.
little bit. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, what me and Antonio have been doing for, I don't know, how long has it been? My first one since January. Antonio and I, Beans and I, have been compounding our money. Like, we work every day, and we take a little bit of it and we put it into cryptocurrency that compounds it. And actually, like today, I worked my ass off, but I guarantee you, my money made way more money than I did without me having to work, if that makes any sense. And that's something I'm trying to figure out how to articulate to our audience.
Well, that's the modern day bank.
Yeah.
That's the interest that
Yes, we
your
are
mom and
our
dad-
own banks.
Yep. That's the interest that your mom and dad, your grandma, your grandpa, that everybody used banks, you know, because they paid decent interest, but that's all gone now. And so
yeah.
crypto is the new bank account. So yeah, I mean, I think it's all 100%. You guys hit the nail right on the head. I think that going forward, people are they're looking for a safe haven for their money, and I think this is it.
Yeah, I believe.
I mean,
you take old ways. You know, I work with a lot of older men, and their ways of how they think. Some of it is still kind of, you can still use nowadays, but for the most part, is I'm. It's funny because I try to explain to them, like, hey, it's kind of like you can't be doing that anymore because it doesn't apply to nowadays. So you got to kind of change things around. You know, like, take for example, you know, mobile phones. It's a computer pretty much in your pocket. You can do almost anything on this thing. You know, you want to print, I mean, do a Bluetooth to a printer, and voila, there it is. There's your print paper. I mean, look what we're doing right now. I'm on the phone right now. I'm chatting with you guys.
bro, this is Jetsons.
Yeah, I mean,
For sure.
It was in the Jetsons cartoons. Everything was on there. Eventually, we're gonna have flying cars. I mean, they already have something like that, but you know, it's they're using it kind of like what is the word I'm trying to look for? Those flying machines, drones. They're like giant drones. And it's cool. You know, it's pretty cool. I mean, they already tested in China. I just saw this video. The guy was going from flew for a couple hours, and you know, actually a couple miles in this thing, and it just looks like a giant drone that you just sit in it. Pretty interesting.
Wow, that is interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild.
So,
Well,
but I
like
mean,
you said, it's just a step in that direction, and what you're saying has to be true because Amazon and all these other places have been looking into the drone delivery services for ages.
oh yeah, yeah. I mean, you look at it, um, machines taking over our jobs. Like perfect example, flipping,
Beans, you're nailing it. You're nailing it. Mm-hmm.
like flipping burgers. I mean, it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say it in a bad way, but it doesn't take a
Yo,
rocket
have you
scientist.
guys have you seen the robot? I'm like chopping up over here. Can you hear me all right?
You coming in okay now?
Okay, because out here I'm like literally 3 megabytes per second download speed. But
You're good.
I saw a video of a robot in Japan that was like hanging sheetrock. And that's scary. that if you could hang sheetrock as a robot, oh my god.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's. I mean,
Yeah, the sky is the limit, literally.
Mhm.
yeah. Even right now,
Mhm.
everybody sees it, but a lot of people don't. You have to look at the world from a different point of view. Um, like Walmart. I mean, anybody can walk at a Walmart right now. And a lot of the personnel that will scan your product and put them in bags, they're slowly getting away from that, and there's more self checkouts because one, it reduces workers, meaning they don't have to pay out more. They just have a machine that is there. All you have to do, the buyer can put their own groceries in the bag and on their way. So, I mean, little stuff like that people are not seeing, and it's slowly transitioning, slowly getting put into place. That it's domino effect. One is gonna hit, and it's just gonna all the way to the end.
Our co-host Agent X works at Walmart.
Oh, that's true. I forgot.
What I was trying to say is I was just on the phone with Agent X before this podcast. He's at work right now at Walmart, and he's like, "Man, F this job." It's just funny. I love life. God is good.
But it's true. Like, why would you pay somebody to bag your groceries when somebody will do it for free?
Yeah.
Like you said, if people are willing to do it, and it's such a subtle thing that, because we're not driving flying cars right now to Walmart,
Right.
I think people feel like you said it's so subtle that it's just barely creeping up.
Yep.
But that's just what's on the surface. They don't understand in the back room that this transition has been going for 10 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just now you're seeing it on the front side, and people are like, oh, that's kind of fun. And I'll be honest, my kids love the self-checkout. Like, they look forward to it. So, I've always been, hey, let's go to the cashier and save that job. But now that I got kids, it's like, well, my kids come first, and well, your job's important, but not as much as my kids having 10 seconds of fun. So, I can't think that I'm the only person that thinks that way. Plus, it's fast.
No, I'm a father of two, and believe me,
that's subversive slavery.
Oh yeah, you look at the world once you become a parent, you look at everything different, and so with the whole everything slowly kind of getting put in place and people not seeing it. I want to say when I was in high school, probably in my sophomore year, the very first time when this idea of the world different got implemented. And I remember, I can't recall who was the person or people. We're all chatting in a group, and then one guy, all of a sudden, he just says, it goes back to the same theory as you put a frog in a pot of water and you slowly start to increase the temperature. And, at first, the frog noticed the temperature change because it's slowly increasing, and eventually he's going to get cooked at the last point when he figures out, well, he's done.
Yep.
So
I couldn't agree more. And America seems like a big old pot of boiling water right now.
Yeah, it's very scary, very scary.
It is. Like, as a father, you know what I'm saying when you feel the type of probably despair for your children, not me. I mean, I'll be okay. I don't really care what happens to me. I don't care if I live, die, end up drafted in a war, but you want something better for them. And so this world has a way of terrifying parents right now.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You gotta You know, as a parent, you got to be strong-minded and you got to implement things now, because you know their future is going to matter more than yours. Yeah, you are their backbone, but you got to set something in place that they're going to be able to branch off.
Yep, 100%.
Huge. Legacy is greater than currency.
Well, which is part of why America's failing right now is that we have one of the lowest birth rates of all recorded American history. And, you know, the fact that, you know, it's like that joke that they've always been saying, you know, Democrats, you know, leftists, whatever you want to call
Well,
them.
let's go do a parade for abortion.
Well, yeah, exactly. But that's just it. They don't need kids because they have yours in the schools. You know, that's why they're so crazy about this, you know, don't say gay bill and all these things that have come up recently that is just kind of, I don't know, it's crazy, you know, to think that the whole world is basically going to heck in a handbasket and people are all worried about, you know, Florida preventing people from talking to little kids about intercourse. It's crazy.
Florida is a different world. I've been there. You don't want to go there. You don't want to go to Turkeyville, Jacksonville, unless you're connected.
But they got a great governor. Their governor is awesome. I take him over your governor every day of the week, twice on Sunday.
Yeah. Have you seen those cracks now?
I don't know who governors are.
Well, your governor is the guy in the wheelchair. You'd see your governor wheeling down the street.
In Texas?
Yeah.
No, we are the governors out here. That guy's just a facade.
Okay, well, somebody's wiping his butt.
I'm telling you. You guys need...
Hey,
here's my Texas plug.
That wiping machine.
But I will say this: he's better than Minnesota's governor by a factor of 1,000. So you got that.
Okay, I'll take that. Beans.
Yep.
What's good in California? What's the gas prices out there?
Well, right now,
did you hear me? Can you hear me? Oh, yeah. What are your gas prices out there?
It actually went up again this past couple of days. So the lowest that I've seen, it's around 6.59. That's I'm sorry, 49 or 6.51 the lowest, and the highest price. And it's weird because every different section of the city here, they're all different prices. And the highest that I've seen is, what was it?
You know what it is out here in good old Texas?
6 something, almost $7.
No, dog, really? It's $3.89.
I'm gonna get off.
$3.89 this morning, maybe $3.69, but you know, depends on the station you go to. It's under $4.
Oh,
yeah, that's same here in Minnesota.
Yeah, don't come over here.
Right.
Speaking of California, did you hear today?
Okay, guys.
Real quick.
Go ahead, Lip.
So I just wanted to touch on California. Maxine Waters, she's one of the the Democratic House members in California. She started screaming at a group of homeless people in tents to just go somewhere else, and they yelled back at her, "We can't. We're homeless."
Okay.
So, I mean, how out of touch do you have to be? I mean, like, the homeless crisis didn't just happen yesterday in California. It's been happening for a hot second.
It's been going on, and it's
been bad.
Yeah, I know certain individuals that work pretty close to the government office here in California, and one of them, I'm not gonna say no names, but they did mention about because we were talking about homeless people, and I asked them, I was like, "Is there anything that it's implemented that they're gonna do anything about as far as helping them or do something different?" And they're saying probably not anytime soon. And she was saying, "I can't really say much, but I'll tell you this much, and this is the part that I got in an argument." She was telling me that she got an argument with another person out of office, and she was saying that there was a setup that there was vans they got sent to like LA, and they gave cash to this homeless people, and they shipped a bunch of vans full of homeless folks, and they brought them here into my town. And they kind of just let them roam
Bakersfield?
around because the individual, I don't want to say no names or anything, but a certain individual pay them to get them out of their like town or city to ship them up here up north. And so I was kind of like, well, that's very interesting. So
it's messed up. I mean, like, we have a problem with immigration and crisis with our homeless people, and both problems. I saw an estimate today that almost 12 million people are here illegally right now. And I have nothing against them, because I'll be honest, I have more respect for a lot of these illegal immigrants that are here than I do for a lot of my fellow Americans who just sit on their ass, do nothing, complain about everything, but yet have never once, given a crap about, making the world a better place. And yet you got these immigrants that are literally willing to risk everything to come here and to try to get a better life. So, I mean, I got nothing against them. Like, I mean, I'd rather that they paid taxes, because that's really the biggest complaint I have, is that they should somehow be able to retroactively pay some taxes. But other than that, I mean, it's like, once you start paying taxes, you're one of us, in my opinion. I mean, like, there's a little more to it than that, but essentially, like, that's the biggest decline, is that, if they don't pay taxes, then essentially, it's just like having two people here that are not, you know what I mean? Like, they have to contribute in some way. But at the same time, a lot of these big corporations have always been paying out, all kinds of money to these illegals, because they want to have the lowest possible, labor costs and highest possible profits. So I don't even blame the immigrants, because if the jobs weren't here, they wouldn't come. But they're here, and nobody in America wants to do them.
Can you hear me?
I can now, yeah.
All right, check this out. So everything you just said is about to be flipped upside down. Like, all the illegal immigrant workers, that's us, like, on a global scale, on a Web3 scale. When what I mean by that is the infrastructure of the way we all are getting money and getting paid is changing. And Beans can tell us all about that, because he's been part of it. Like, it's like the way that people make money and borders and international laws, I'm really convinced it's all about to change very quickly, because the powers that be is always been the money. And when the dollar loses its value, the facade is going to fall down. Beans, can you add to that?
Yeah. So, if anybody's watching this, or, so after Ronald Reagan, in the 60s, that took us out of the gold standard. That's when pretty much the Feds got the green light to print as much notes, because I don't even call it real money, because it's just paper, really.
Fiat.
But they force us the people, to give it power, because if we don't believe in it, everybody just says screw it. We don't believe in the dollar, then everything is go to shit. So us, the people, are the ones who give it power to the fiat currency that we're using right now. But with inflation, I mean, just this past 2-3 years has been crazy on the inflation. The purchasing power has been, inflation going up, the purchasing power has gone down. And eventually it's going to hit rock bottom. I mean, there's not going to be no turn back behind that. Once it's done, it's done. And, and the way I see it, and, people can search it, do your own homework. Don't believe me, that's okay. It's, that's pretty much everybody fought for the freedom to think, or the freedom to talk, as far as, what one thinks, or what they want to hear, or they want to say. But do your research, get to know about what's going on with our currency. And as soon as it hits rock bottom, I mean, like I said, there's no turning back. And so there's got to be something going to step in that is going to take its place of the our fiat. So I mean, everything is going digital. I mean, it's rare when I have cash in my pocket. I don't pay with cash anymore, really, because everything either through banks, everything through whatever. I mean, it's a currency. It's all numbers on your bank account, through the computer or through the phone, wherever you do the app. So if I go out with friends and have dinner with them or whatever, everybody pitches in, like, all right, well, everybody Zelle or PayPal or Venmo or cash or through the apps. We're not doing through through the paper anymore. We're not. Everything's digital. Everything's a digital currency. And so I try to explain to people, you're already using it. Get to know cryptocurrency.
Ooh, that's a good way to put it.
It's just another form of the money that you already been used to it. Just get to know more about this one, because it's gonna replace what we're currently using right now. Don't believe me? That's fine. I mean, do your homework. But it's
No, I think you're 100%. You're 100%.
And
huge.
Notice once that goes from fiat to crypto, like right off the back, everybody's gonna freak out, like, oh, I don't know what to do, because nobody's gonna know what to do. They're not gonna have a digital wallet. They're not gonna have a platform set up. They're not gonna have the knowledge. And then by that time, they realize, like, oh crap, like I need to know now. That's when they're gonna come to say us in this little chat room right here. They're gonna be like, hey, I need to know. So,
Mm-hmm.
you need dinero.
It's funny that you say that, because I just heard that the H&R Block is talking about making their Emerald card available to make purchases with crypto. So that's like essentially people getting their tax returns, advanced return. Yeah, they're in talks right now to figure out some way so that you can turn it into Bitcoin, and seeing if that would work with their banks. So you're not wrong, but by the time that most of these people get into this, it'll be too little, too late.
Yep. That's very true. Wow, I had no idea. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, I guess they're in talks, but at the same time, I can also see it not happening too, because there's a lot of companies right now that just want to make crazy money while Titanic's going down, clear out the silverware while the band's still playing, and that's all. So like I could totally see that working, but then if they do like what Cash App did, where you don't have the keys to it, where you don't have anything, and it's just a derivative, it's not actual Bitcoin that you have the keys to. I don't see that as a stable thing compared to having the actual keys.
No,
just my thoughts.
And if anybody goes that route, that is very dangerous, because again, now you're pretty much setting a different account the same way that we have a regular account right now. I mean, like, I have Wells Fargo, and they can just say, yeah, I have, some money in there. And they can just say from, night to day, I could wake up the next morning and my account's zero, or it's locked out. And I can't even access my account because I don't have full access or control of that money in there. So at that point, what am I going to do?
Right.
So, I mean, people need to realize,
hey, Beans,
they don't have control of their account. Yeah, they have money in there. That's legally, that's their money, but they don't have control of that account. Their banking system has full control of it.
Right.
And that's very scary. Very scary. People don't see that. Ugh, they're going to be in a world of hurt.
100%. You got any final thoughts before we sign off? Best podcast yet. Thanks so much for coming.
Yes, sir.
Gosh, you were fire. You were absolute fire. Thank you so much.
Fire. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
We can now. You've been kind of hit or miss. But take us home.
Well,
give us 15 seconds of glory. Go out. Go.
Man, this is the best podcast ever. And my cell service sucks, but Beans, you bring it. He brings the thunder every time. So I'm excited for the future. Like, I know the world is looking at doom and gloom, but there is so much opportunity out there right now. Like Agent X keeps preaching. Like if you love wins. That's all I can say.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Word. Same place, same time. See you guys tomorrow.
Later.